And the book that we talking about is Further Along the Road Less Traveled by Dr. Scott Peck. I finished this book right before I went on my top producer trip to Nassau, Bahamas. If I can get one thing out of a book that I can implement or start doing in my life like immediately while I'm reading it, then I consider that a great book. All right. So the first thing I'll say is a lot of you guys may look at this book like several people that saw me either in the airport or seen me at Starbucks, and they say, oh man, that's the Road Less Traveled. Great book. I've read that. That's the Road Less Traveled. Well, listen, if you look at the top, see, know what we're going to do? We're going to make America read again, right? How you going to see this book and not see Further Along at the top? Right? You know, make America read again. That's what RB3 is really going to do. That's why I'm making these videos again. You know what I'm saying? Really look at that. That says the Road Less Traveled, but right at the top it says Further Along. Everybody thinks, I read the Road Less Traveled too. That's the first edition. This is the second edition. And this one, in my opinion, is way better than the first one. And the first one was really, really good. Jesus, of course, was speaking metaphorically. He did not mean for you to cut off your arm or gouge out your eye. What he meant was that if there is something in your way, something that stands between you and mental health or spiritual growth, you should get rid of it. Don't sit around complaining about it, right? So the Bible, listen, this is a key right here. So the Bible is not always meant to be interpreted literally. Hate when people do that. I hate it, right? And for the person that's saying, well, he used the word hate. That's such a strong word. You shouldn't hate anything. Again, I'm saying it metaphorically. I'm not being literal. Do you think I really, really hate it that bad? Right? Do you really think I hate it? No. I'm saying it metaphorically, not literally. It's the same example we're talking about here. A lot of stuff in the Bible we need. It's a lot of what Jesus is saying, what the prophets are saying. They're speaking metaphorically. Look, this is this book right here. Now let's go. He also talked about trying to get to this masochism, because I could have, if all the book had was just this one little subdivision on masochism, man, I would have been happy for this. Like here it is, masochism, and I'm not gonna give my I can't explain it yet. You know how you can know something, but you're not ready to explain it and give your take on it. Right, so I'm smart enough to know I don't know how to do that yet. I just read the book, just finished it, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this right here from the book, all right? And I need y'all to get this book too. When you get it and you read it, matter of fact, as soon as you get the book or download the book, look, come back to this video and drop me a comment, right? But put the word masochism, team, put the word masochism across the screen right here, and I'm going to try to show it also. Boom, masochism. So here it is. Let's take 4-year-old Johnny, who wants to make mud pies in the living room. And mommy says, no, Johnny, you can't do it. But Johnny insists, yes, I can. So mommy insists, no, you can't. And Johnny stomps up the stairs crying, goes into his bedroom, slams the door behind him, and begins to sob. After about 5 minutes, the sobs die down, but he stays in his room. And after another half hour goes by, his mother thinks she should do something to cheer him up. She knows the one thing that Johnny loves more than anything else in the world is chocolate ice cream cones. So she very lovingly makes him a chocolate ice cream cone and goes upstairs to find Johnny still sulking in a corner of his room. Here, Johnny, I made you a chocolate ice cream cone, she says, and Johnny yells, nah! And smacks it out of her hand. That is masochism. All right? Johnny is being given the one thing he loves more than anything else in the world, and he's throwing it away. Why? Obviously, the reason is that at that particular point in time, Johnny happens to be more into hating his mother than he is into loving ice cream. And that is what masochism is. It is always disguised sadism, disguised hatred, disguised rage. You see what I'm talking about? Self-destructive people, right? You could give them They will essentially hurt themselves in the process only to make sure that they hurt you, right? They're gonna hurt. I can't understand that. If I have to hurt you by hurting myself, that's like a suicide bomber, right? It's one thing if you just gonna go and kill somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't hurting yourself. You might go to jail. You might be penalized for it. You might be hated for it. But listen, that's between you and that person. Masochism, a form of masochism, could definitely be considered those suicide bombers. Why? Because they're gonna hurt other people, but at the expense of hurting themselves. Now that's deep right there. And the reason why I found this very powerful, I wanted to share that with you, masochism, is because no matter if you're in business or if you're in just your normal life and your family and your church, it don't matter where in your life and school. Listen, you're either dealing with masochism yourself, or the understanding is so key, right? And I deal with people all day, every day. That's why I got to read, and that's why I'm making my challenge to make America read again. We're gonna make America read again, and it's just gonna be we starting out just with these book reviews. You guys asked me to do these. You asked me like, oh, how did you like the book? A lot of you been picking up the books when you see me just posting it. A lot of you asked me, well, what did you like about the book? What didn't you like? Should I get it? So I took y'all advice. I said, you know what? I don't mind making a little quick video, just giving y'all a quick book review, right? So listen, back to masochism, right? We have to understand why that's how we get to communicate and connect better with people, is when we understand, like, listen, if I don't have a case of masochism, I need to understand, right? I need to understand, like, oh snap, this is why they doing that. Oh, that's masochism. Now I can know how to deal with that person a little bit better, right? Because oh snap, that's masochism right there. But when you don't know what you experience, and when you don't know what's going on, and you're like, yo, what is this? Why do people just do this? Then that messes up your whole psyche. There's so much more stuff in this book, but I'm not going to give you the whole book. It's a book review. How long is a movie trailer? You know what I'm saying? Y'all like, well, why don't you tell us more? No. Read this book. Drop me a comment when you read it. Let me know if you liked it.